For the longest, I thought confidence is about something that it is absolutely not. And I feel like this is the way confidence is portrayed in social media by celebrities or wherever in the world, which is that the confidence that you have is about the way you look or how much money you have or how successful you are, and that is what gives you confidence. But hear me out to understand why all of these superficial things have nothing to do with true confidence from within. Because how can true self-worth be conditional? If you have to look a certain way or have to achieve this or have to do that in order for yourself to feel worthy, how conditional is that? That is actually the opposite of self-worth. Because why do you think you need to prove yourself to yourself? That is only when you actually below that don't feel so worthy about yourself and don't feel so confident. And then you're trying to find things on the outside that are going to make you feel more confident, like the way you look or the way you dress or how successful you are, how much money you have, to sort of fill up that hole that is actually very poor self-worth. So many people say this, like, oh, when I go out and I dress myself up, I feel so confident. Think about it, when that goes away or when you don't look dressed up again, all that confidence goes away. And this is because confidence is about something completely different, and it has nothing to do with the way you look or how successful you are. And when I discovered this is when my confidence shifted, and that's why I want to share it with you. I see so many celebrities online, or people that are famous. They put themselves in a certain way and they might on the exterior look so confident, but you have to know that the harder you try, the more you post, the more you try to show something to other people or even to yourself in the things that you achieve, the less confident you actually are. Because when you have to prove to yourself in some way that you're worthy, that is conditional love. And that inherently is a result of poor self-worth. And I think a lot of people are walking around with fake confidence. I thought when I go out or when I make myself look good or when I achieve this or when I get this done, I will feel so confident. But this was not true confidence. This was a simple ego boost, because you know what is below that? Below that is, I look better than others. I have more than others. I have always in comparison to others. And this is just a simple superficial ego boost. And the ego only does this when it actually doesn't feel good enough. And it will assert some type of dominance or superiority, or it will try to talk itself up when it is actually below that, trying to fill a hole of very poor self-worth. Because when I learned what true confidence is, I understood that it has nothing to do with the way you look or with comparing yourself with others or with the things you achieve. So let me give you the magic recipe for confidence. This is it. How confident you feel is whether you are able to always make the decision that is best for you. What I'm saying here is that true confidence and true self-worth from within is cultivated when you continuously make the right decisions for yourself, when you continuously show up for yourself, when you continuously follow your intuition and your gut feeling, when you continuously act on your internal compass that always tells you whether something is right for you. This is so multidimensional. This is from the foods that you eat. Is it actually right for you? Is it actually serving you? Another thing is in the job that we have or the work that we do, right? I think unfortunately, so many people are stuck or doing a thing or a job that is actually not 100% resonant with them. And they're just dragging on. And sometimes they're forced by it, right? Because they think, oh, if I don't have this job, I'm not going to have any money, or what am I going to do with that gap or whatever. So they don't always choose this voluntarily. But these choices are very much driven by your survival instinct instead of feelings of love and passion. Because what following your intuition is also about is following the feelings of passion and excitement. We actually have a very simple task here on life, but we all forgot about it, which is God or the universe has told us, you incarnate in human form and all you need to do is follow what feels good to you. But this seems like the hardest task because so many of us are pursuing things that actually don't feel so good to us, whether it is people, a job, whether it is actually consuming foods that actually don't feel so good to us, including our gut. We're continuously doing things that we know aren't right for us. So that is why this whole confidence, even though the formula is simple, always doing what is right for you, is actually very hard to put to practice for a lot of people, because we continuously make choices that we know actually aren't right for us. And that is leaking your self-confidence away. That is actually what is making you insecure. Not the way you look, or not the lack of success, or not whatever. It is because you make choices that you know aren't right for you. And with that, you're lying to yourself. You're denying yourself. You're rejecting yourself. You're rejecting your own feelings and your own intuition. And that is what is making you insecure. Not anything on the outside, not your achievements, not success, not that other people are judging you. It is the fact that you're lying to yourself and you're not listening to yourself. And you know what actually feels the best is when we follow our purpose. When we follow our dharma, our mission here on earth. And this word then sounds like this has to be some big achievement. But our mission can be very simple, like being a mother, being a sister, being a healer for whoever is in our environment. Or maybe a purpose on a bigger scale. But how do we find our purpose? It is simply by following what feels good, what feels right. And if you feel resistance, if you feel stress, that is usually not right for you. I do want to make a side note here. Of course, when we take risks in life or leaps, or when we quit our job and want to take that leap towards something that feels more like our purpose, it doesn't mean like we're not going to feel fear. Our mind is going to project all sorts of fears when it thinks it's losing control. Because the mind loves to think that it is in control, which is a big illusion. It is not. Your conscious mind is not in control. Your being, your soul, the spirit, the God consciousness within you is in control. But this is just a force of life that is flowing anyway. It's like a train that is already running, or a water flow river that is already going. It is just whether you decide to go with the flow of life or whether you decide to resist it. And we find that flow of life by simply following our intuition. And sometimes for that we have to become really quiet, right? We have to spend some time with ourselves in silence, no distraction, no music, no consumption of phone or whatever, watching something. Just becoming really quiet and really sitting with ourselves and feeling what is actually feeling good in my life right now and what is not. Am I having a lot of resistance? It even goes to when you go out with your friends or you're invited to something and you think, oh, I have to go, I can't just not show up. But in those little moments, because you're not listening to yourself, when maybe your gut is actually telling you, I don't really want to go, or I'm not really feeling it, or I don't really feel social right now. If in those moments you deny what you're feeling and you just go with it, you override your own intuition, that is when you lose your confidence. Because you're disrespecting yourself. Every time you don't listen to your intuition, you're disrespecting yourself. And that is what is leading to poor self-worth. You disrespecting your own intuition and your own feelings. A lot of people are also not living from their full potential because of that fear, because they're scared to take that risk or take that leap, go into the unknown. And that is also leaking their confidence away because their intuition has already been telling them to maybe take a certain action or do something. And this intuition is just whether something is exciting you, or maybe there are signs where you keep seeing something and it just makes you feel so inspired and good, and maybe afraid at the same time as well. But why do you think God made that feeling of love and excitement? It's because there is already a universal consciousness that is going in a certain direction. And we're all tapped into that as humans. How do we know if we're following that universal consciousness? It is when that thing will actually feel good to us. When we love something, when it feels exciting to us, when that is like our life dream. Our life dream is usually the flow of universal consciousness. It is the direction the universe wants us to go in. Why else would it be your dream? Why else do you have that dream and not another dream? There's a reason for that. And there's a reason that dream excites you so much or makes you feel so thrilled and inspired. It's because that is the dream that was given to you. That is the dream that the universe wants you to follow. Don't think that this won't come with fears, but the fears are on the level of the mind. We're not just our mind. We have a far broader spectrum. That is our soul, our intuition, our feelings. And we can do things when the mind is afraid. We can overcome our fears by doing it anyway, by following that undercurrent that lies much deeper. That is that feeling of joy and excitement. Doing what is right for you can also apply to the people that you allow in your life. This is a big one, because maybe it is in the relationships, the romantic relationships that you have, or the friendships that you have. Are these people actually right for you? Are they resonating with you on the deepest level? The things that you do together, are they actually in resonance with who you truly are? And we all know deep down, and we probably still have some people in our life that we can think of where we're like, those people, I have them in my life, they're nice, they love me. Usually this love is just an attachment. But actually, do they really value you, or do they really understand your values? And do you do the things together that are actually truly making you feel whole, complete, heard, valued? Because other people undervaluing you in your life is just you undervaluing yourself. Because you are the watcher for who is allowed to stay in your life. And this again goes back to listening to that gut feeling that we have. We always know deep down whether something is serving us, whether a relationship or a friendship is serving us. And when we have doubts, it's usually because there is a misconnection between our head and our heart. It's usually when our gut or our heart is already telling us, this is not really for you. This is not your highest good. And your mind is trying to find these reasons why we should stay, or this is okay, but look at what they've done. But look at the way they maybe physically interact with me. They hug me. They must care for me. But the truth always lies deeper. It always lies in your heart, whether something actually feels resonant for you. As I said, confidence has nothing to do with the way you look, but it does have a large part to play in how you take care of your health and how you treat your body, whether you put the right foods in you. And the right foods are the ones that are not upsetting your stomach, not making you feel bloated, not upsetting your gut, not making you feel overly full. And obviously the natural products, the products that have a lot of life force, prana, that is vegetables. And I would advise people to become vegetarian. Because how do you expect to feel alive when you're eating something dead? Meat is very tamasic, but I can't tell people how to live their life. So that is a choice up to you, but you can do a little research, or you can just do a little experiment. What foods make you feel very stagnant and heavy and lethargic? And what foods give you a lot of life and excitement and nurture? And again, it's not about how people treat their body to look a certain way and you need to eat healthy and need to eat salads. I'm not on that vibe. I'm telling you to take care of your body from a place of love, from a place of, I respect this body so much that I want to nurture it with vegetables, nurture it with the right foods, from love. That is going to give you confidence, not the restriction or pushing yourself with extreme diets, pushing yourself to go to the gym all the time. That doesn't come from love. And another big part of confidence is stop trying to change yourself. Stop trying to make yourself into something different, because in that way you're criticizing yourself constantly, and that is leaking away from your self-worth. So people that are pushing themselves a lot to look a certain way, people that are going to the gym a lot to acquire a certain aesthetic, that is not giving you true confidence. That is you trying to change yourself and criticizing yourself. We came here on earth to just respect our bodies, be healthy to them, nourish them, nurture them. It had nothing to do with how you look. But I will say, if you treat your body really healthy from a place of love, you will also look good. But that is a byproduct. That is not the aim, because if that is the aim, the aesthetic and the way you look or how toned you are, that is you trying to change yourself. And that is making you feel very poor self-worth. So it's such a contradiction. You know, so many fitness people or diet people say, oh, when I went to the gym, I feel so good. But imagine those people losing their muscles. They lose all that confidence in a whim. Because that confidence was conditional. It was not true self-worth from within. Because true self-worth from within is doing what is right for you with balance. Exactly the way that is most loving and most nurturing for you in each moment. Not overly pushing yourself, not overly trying to change yourself. Just doing what is healthy for your body. So, with everything that you do, you should stop and ask yourself, is this actually right for me? Does this resonate with my whole being? Maybe you need to close your eyes and feel your gut. Maybe you can feel the tension in your stomach, or your heart is communicating to you. Is this actually right for you right now? Should you do this? This decision, this plan to go out with a friend, this new opportunity, the foods that you're eating, the people that you allow in your life, this relationship, is it actually right for you? Because true confidence comes when you connect back with your heart, with your truth. And when you listen to that truth at any moment and you respect that truth, you show up for yourself and you're there for yourself. You become so confident when you can walk around like, I know I got my own back. No matter what other people do, no matter what circumstances I end up in, I got my own back. Because I listen to my heart and I honor my intuition and I listen to my gut feeling. And that is what makes someone so confident when they're there for themselves. When they stop trying to change themselves, they stop criticizing themselves, they stop making the self-love conditional like the way they look or the success that they have. But they just follow their intuition and their feelings. And they also give themselves time to feel. They give themselves space to feel. Spend time in silence and allow your emotions. Stop trying to change them. Why do I feel this way? Why me? Why? Always that criticism. Always that trying to change yourself. And that is what is causing you to not feel confident. The fact that you're constantly trying to change yourself and that you're not making the decisions that are actually right for you. And if you don't know what the decision is that is right for you, you need to build that relationship with your heart and with your gut. Because your body will tell you. Your body will always tell you what is right for you. You don't have to know it in your mind. You can just use your body to feel what is right for you. If you need my personal guidance with manifesting, I've crafted a very comprehensive 5-week manifestation course where day by day, step by step, I help you to get from the current version that you are to the highest future self and make that quantum jump. You get guided meditations, you get my guidance through chat, we do live Q&As. So there's a lot in the course to really give you that structure and guidance in a trajectory of 5 weeks to get from one place to another and make those changes. Thank you for listening, my loves. I really, really love it if you made it up until here. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought, or if you have any additions, or what does confidence mean for you. I love to read it. And I'd love to see you in my next video. Sending you much, much love.